we advertised 11 o'clock and we're ready to go. So welcome everybody to the very first webinar in our monthly webinar series. This webinar series, Small Business Webinar Series, is brought to you as a partnership between three organizations that are dedicated to the success of Jewish small business, and those are my organization, the Crown Heights Young Entrepreneur, CHYE, EPI Network, run by Rabbi Zisha Novoseller, and JCC of Marine Park, run by Shia Rubenstein. These three organizations are working together to bring you monthly topics, classes of relevance to helping you grow your businesses. Really very excited, and I'm honored. Actually, former board member of CHYE, Yossi Joe Apfelbaum, is a tremendous business person. He's a business personality. He runs a tremendous business, and he's also the LinkedIn expert. He really has mastered LinkedIn. He really knows how to utilize it to grow his business, and we're excited today for him to be teaching us the tricks of the trade and how we could use LinkedIn to maximize and grow our businesses. So yeah, there are, all of you that are watching, there are certain controls that you have. If you hover your mouse around on the video that you're watching, you'll see you have the ability to raise your hand and you have the ability to post questions. Yossi, I'm going to pass the controls over to Yossi. Yossi will let you know if he's going to take Q&A during his speech or if he's going to ask you to hold off with your Q&A towards the end. But we're definitely, this is an interactive conversation that's going on here. This is not just a one-way Yossi talking and all of you listening. So here, without further ado, I pass on the controls to Yossi Apfelbaum. Yossi.
Thank you. I really appreciate you sharing all that information. That's really awesome. It looks like Shia Rubenstein in the comments wrote welcome to all panelists and all attendees. So Shia is awesome. So I'm so excited about doing this. I want to make sure that you can all see my screen. If it says LinkedIn Authority Blueprint on your screen, just say yes, I can see it. And this way I know that you can see my screen. Because I'm monitoring the chat in real time. Really excited to have you guys. I want to make sure that everyone knows how to chat with us. So it looks like everyone's saying yes, yes, yes. If you can't see it for whatever reason, this is probably not the right webinar for you because we're going to go a little bit advanced. We're not going to get into the technology. We're going to get more into the strategy. So like Rabbi Wordy said, my name is Joe Apfelbaum. I am a LinkedIn expert. I'm the CEO of Ajax Union, a B2B digital marketing agency. We got really into B2B over the past couple of years, and we are only focusing on B2B companies right now, and LinkedIn is the place for B2B. I like to help hungry entrepreneurs go from frustration to motivation. I have an awesome Facebook group that you can check out. If you go to my LinkedIn profile later, under my summary, most people don't read my summary. By the way, most people don't read at all. They like pictures. Human beings, like that's why Instagram is so popular. But if you take a moment to read my summary, you can find out more about another webinar I'm going to be doing and just in general about me, what I'm about, how you can hire me as a speaker, find out information about my Facebook group where I coach entrepreneurs. This month, we're doing the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So I'm really excited. If you like this webinar and you want more information, you want to learn more, you can find more information there. So who is this for? This webinar is for people that are in B2B marketing, business owners, executives, anyone really looking for leads or referrals, entrepreneurs, sales professionals, and marketing directors, and people that love learning and growing. So which one of these are you? Pick one if possible, or you can pick two, but tell me in the chat box right now, are you in B2B? Are you a business owner, an executive? Are you looking for leads? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a sales professional, a marketing director? I want to know who you are so that I know who I'm talking to. One of the most important things whenever you're doing any presentation is to know exactly who you're talking to. And I'm going to be doing this presentation for another approximately 25 minutes or so. So by 11:30, we will go into a little more Q&A action. So write down your questions. But if you do want to share your questions in the chat, feel free to share them in real time. I'm super ADD, which means I can do a bunch of things at the same time, and I could also hyper-focus at the same time, so I take it as a benefit. So we have people that are B2B, B2C, looking for leads, web sales professionals. We have a good mix, entrepreneurs, business owner, referrals, looking for referrals, all the above. Okay, Dan, thank you. Awesome, this is exciting. So the name of our company is Ajax Union. Our focus is B2B digital marketing. We're an agency. We do B2B digital marketing strategy. Most people don't have a strategy in their business. We help you come up with a strategy. We do lead generation, lead nurturing, and we are LinkedIn marketing experts. And where are we located? We're located in Dumbo, Brooklyn. By the way, I'd like to extend an invitation to all of you, Shia, Rabbi Wordy, and everyone else that's watching this right now. You're welcome to join me in my last LinkedIn meetup of the year that's happening tonight at 6 p.m. And yes, there will be kosher pizza there. We're expecting between 30 and 50 people to show up. It's in the WeWork Dumbo at 81 Prospect. For more information about that, you can go to ajaxunion.com/meetup. I'm going to be talking about how to set goals on LinkedIn and get really into it. And you're going to meet other engaged LinkedIn users. One of the most important things about any community is to make sure that you have engagement. So that's really the idea. Yes, Rabbi Wordy, I do see your video showing. If you want to stop your video, just click on stop video. Okay. Oh, Ellie's coming tonight. Hooray. Dovi's a sales pro. Amazing. Ellie's a telecom consultant. Awesome. So this is our meetup. It's really exciting. We had 12 so far this year, and stay tuned for if you want to join. If you can't make it tonight, no worries. Just join the meetup, ajaxunion.com/meetup, or you can find it on meetup.com. We did 12 this year. Probably going to do another 12 next year. So the last one is tonight. And these are some of the photos of the people that came recently. Really exciting to be able to have over 300 people that have come to our meetups over the past couple of months since we started it. I think our first one was in July, and we're now finishing in November. So we had a lot of activity, a lot of stuff going on, really exciting. So LinkedIn is the largest professional network, the largest networking event in the world where people show up every single day. Now, the crazy thing is that most people are not posting on LinkedIn. So could you imagine showing up to a networking event and literally not saying anything, walking in, looking around, and then leaving, maybe liking something that somebody did? It would be ridiculous. But people are doing that consistently on LinkedIn. They're lurking instead of being an influencer. And you can really be an influencer on LinkedIn. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that. But quick, some stats. 65% of B2B companies have acquired a customer through LinkedIn. And 46% of social media traffic to B2B companies come from LinkedIn. As a matter of fact, if you Google yourself, and I recommend that everybody Google themselves, you will notice that LinkedIn probably comes up on the top of the search results for your own name or the name of your CEO and so on and so forth. So 71% of B2B marketers say that LinkedIn is part of their advertising strategy. And by the way, LinkedIn generates 3 times more conversions for B2B companies than Twitter and Facebook combined. Very powerful statistics. And as a matter of fact, Microsoft, I don't know if you guys have been following Microsoft in general, what they've been doing, but Microsoft purchased LinkedIn for $26.2 billion. It was one of their biggest investments they've ever made. Very powerful acquisition they made. And the reason they made that acquisition is because Microsoft wants to be able to get more into the content marketing space. LinkedIn was known for recruiting, but Microsoft paid $50 more per share than what it was selling at because they knew that they can monetize it because of the power of the types of people that are on LinkedIn. There are 500 million people on LinkedIn. Very powerful, right? A lot of people. There's not as many as there are on Facebook, right? Facebook has over 2 billion people on it. And so does YouTube and so on. But LinkedIn, the people that are on there are different types of people, and they have a different type of mindset. So you have to know when you're going into it, there's 61 million senior level influencers and 40 million decision makers on LinkedIn. So Fortune 500 companies, it's the most used platform for them. So it's very powerful. But I want to know, like, how often do you log into your LinkedIn? How often? In the comments right now, do you do it once a day, once a week, once a month? You're not even sure what your password is, never. So tell me how often you do it. I want you to create your own visibility on how often you do it. This is for you to engage with me right now. So somebody wrote never, daily. The reason I want you to engage is so that you can create awareness for yourself. So a lot of these questions, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for you. So for those of you that are logging in once a month or several times a day or a few times per week, so it's all over the place, 57% of people are logging in from their phone. Are you logging in from your phone, or are you using a desktop computer to use your LinkedIn? I want to know, are you using a phone or desktop computer or both? So most people are using their phone, as I can see from here. Some people are using desktop mostly. Okay, cool. This is really, really interesting. And by the way, you have a different experience if you're using your phone or if you're using your desktop computer. It's a completely different experience. I feel like my phone works better. LinkedIn works better on my phone. Very buggy on the desktop, but there are certain things that I can do on the desktop that I can't do on my phone. And, really thinking about how engaged you are on LinkedIn, right? The more you put into something, the more you're going to get out of it. So I always tell people, if somebody tells me there's no value to me on LinkedIn, I'll probably say because you're not engaged on LinkedIn, you're not investing in it. If you don't invest in it, you're not going to benefit from it. So I always tell people you got to invest in whatever you want to benefit from. If you want to benefit from from a stock, you got to invest in the stock. You can't just watch the stock. You got to get into the stock. You got to get involved with it. You first have to understand it and know what you're doing. But if you know what you're doing, you are managing your risk. And ultimately you'll be able to profit if you can manage your risks properly. So here's a crazy statistic. There are only 1 million posts per day being posted on LinkedIn out of 500 million people. That's crazy. That means there's a lot of people watching and very little people contributing. There's very few people contributing, and there are many, many people watching. Why are you not posting on LinkedIn every single day? Yesterday, I was at a real estate summit and a domain name summit, and I did a talk, and there were 200 people in the room, and I said, how many people here have posted on their LinkedIn today? And only 3 people out of 200 people raised their hand that they posted on their LinkedIn. And that's crazy, and that's the reality of it. People are not posting on LinkedIn. I just wrote an article on my own LinkedIn that says the reasons why, the top 10 reasons I hear at LinkedIn locals, at events, why people are not posting on LinkedIn. So if you want to see all the reasons, you go there. But I'm going to tell you where people are in their life. And I want you to tell me which one of these resonates with you most. There are people that are on the bottom. They're the technophobes. They're the people that really haven't figured out how to use their computer well. They don't know how to use technology. They're fearful. They're lost. They're tired. They're in debt. They don't even know that B2B lead gen exists or that it's important. For them, they need coaching. Their keys to success, they need coaching. They need to learn the basics with the courses and a coach. Probably if you figured out how to get onto this webinar, you're probably not afraid of technology. It's probably not you, but a lot of people are in that place. The second step, was where I find a lot of people is the lurker stage, where you're watching, but you're not necessarily posting. You're unsure, you're frustrated, you're hopeful that something will happen. That's why you're even on it. Maybe you're on there once a week, once a month, but you're not marketing. You're not really marketing. You're surviving in your business, in your life, but you're not really marketing. And what you need is a strategy. You need to get a strategy on what your goals are, who you're targeting, what your exact messaging is. You need to have a plan. That's essentially what a strategy is. And then the next stage is there are even fewer people. There are people that are posting every once in a while. They're dabblers. They're involved. They're doing it. They know what they want, but they're missing something. They're not sure, and they know they need to be posting more. They know that they need to get involved more, but they're procrastinating. Those people are getting by, but they know they're missing out something. What they need is a library of assets, so they have a library of content, scheduled to automate their marketing and so on, so that they don't have to sit there and think about it all the time. They're more prepared. And finally, there's the person on the top, which is the influencer. Tell me which one you are. The influencer is in control, is confident, is ready for growth. They're thriving. They're feeling wow, and they just need to monetize their influence so that they can actually make money off their likes, off their engagement, off all the things that they're doing. So I see there's a lot of people that are dabblers, that are lurkers. And what I want to tell you today is with the information that I'm going to be giving you today, and again, if you want to watch this, a longer version of this, you can go to ajaxunion.com/blueprint webinar, and you can sign up to the webinar that I'm doing next week, which will basically be similar to this, but it'll be in more detail because I'll have more time to do it. So many people are dabblers. If you want to go from being a lurker to an influencer, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process. Now, if relationships are important to your business, then LinkedIn needs to be important to your business, because LinkedIn is where you build relationships. It's only one piece of the puzzle. It's not where you build all of the relationship, but it's where you maintain the relationship. And that's why I do these meetups and these webinars, and so that I can build relationships with people, but then have a place to follow up with them. And there are a lot of people that are not on LinkedIn. There's only about 146 million people in the US that are on LinkedIn. And there's, over 300 million people. But the people that are on LinkedIn, on average, are generating over $70,000 a year. Many of them are very successful, very affluent. And so those are the people that are paying attention. And when they're there, they have a business mindset. So if you think that LinkedIn doesn't work, think again. LinkedIn really works. It's probably because you're not spending the time. And if you are spending the time, you don't have the right strategy. So most people are performing random acts of networking on LinkedIn and hoping that somebody or something will notice, something will change. But the reality is, energy without strategy is a waste of time. I always say this: strategy is a plan of action to be able to take all your resources and have an actual plan. My wife came out with a cookbook called Millennial Kosher. Anybody here has heard of the cookbook or bought the cookbook? She sold 18,000 copies of the cookbook in a very short period of time. She has over 50,000 people on her Instagram, and she has a strategy. She has a very specific target market. She has a very specific message, and she was very successful. The average book sells 270 copies. So for her, she built up her audience for many years, and then eventually was able to sell one of the most successful cookbooks around. And the reason I mention her is because her whole cookbook has a bunch of recipes, and recipes are strategies. That's what they are. And when it comes to baking, you have to get the recipe right. Otherwise, the cake gets messed up. But when it comes to cooking, which is what she really focused on, you don't have to get it right perfectly. You can mix it up a little bit, and a strategy doesn't have to be complicated. You can mix it around, test things out. You can have, your goals not necessarily perfect, but you have your goals. You have a target, but the target is not necessarily perfect. Your message doesn't have to be necessarily perfect. People are waiting for perfection till they create the strategy. People are often not taking action because they don't know how to do it. You need to take action even if you don't know exactly how to do it. You need to start taking action, create somewhat of a strategy, and then perfect your strategy as you go along. Okay, so I want you to really think about this. Now, I created a 3-step process called the LinkedIn Authority Blueprint after working with so many businesses. We serviced over 1,100 companies, and what I noticed is that there's a lot of people missing a strategy. To go from a lurker to an influencer, there are 3 steps, and I know for some of you this might be a lot. So like I said, you can always watch the webinar that I'm going to be doing next week, which I'm going to go into this in more detail. But I want you to know what you need to know in order for you to create your strategy. So the first step is on the bottom is strategy, which includes your goals, your target, and your message. Your goals are not just thinking about your goals for yourself as an individual. Like, for example, I set a goal to lane. I had it in my bucket list 3 years ago, and I finally hired a coach to teach me how to lane, which is read from the Torah. And then this Shabbos, I'm actually going to be reading my first entire Parsha in the museum on the 2nd floor, which I'm really excited about in front of 150 people. I'm a little nervous because I've never done it before, but I put in the practice. That was one of my goals, and I accomplished that goal. Very, very amazing, going from a person that literally didn't know how to read inside properly and was all scared and shy to a person that's going to blow it out of the water. So I want to know what your goals are, but not just your personal goals, also your business goals, also your process goals and your product goals, and we'll get into that a little bit more. I want to know who your target audience is, and I know a lot of people don't want to limit their target audience, so you have to really figure out how to limit your target audience so that you can be more successful. The more targeted you are, the more likely you'll succeed. And then your messaging that speaks to that target audience that helps you get your goal. So that's your strategy. And then the second stage is once you have a strategy, you have to create a list of assets, which includes different types of posts. And there are 6 different types of posts. I'm going to get into that a little bit today. There are articles, all different types of articles, evergreen articles. There's media, there's audio and video and images and all types of media that we're going to get into. And then there's scheduling, posting, and reporting, which is your promotion plan. So I'm going to get into this right now, but I want you to think about what are your goals? How many connections do you have? How many connections do you want to have? How many qualified connections do you have? Right now, in the comments right now, I want you to tell me in the chat box, how many clients would you like to pick up in 2019? I want you to be very specific. Throw out a number. How many clients would you like to pick up in 2019? If you don't know this, if you're not sure, or if it's 1 billion clients is something not realistic, then you're not going to be able to get there. So Joseph wrote 1,000. Ellie wrote 100. Larry wrote 9. Morty wrote 10. You got to get really clear. And once you know how many clients you want and how many you want in 2019, then you need to think about who you need to be connected to today on LinkedIn. How many qualified connections do you need to have with CEOs, CFOs, decision makers, marketing directors, sales managers, building owners, whoever your target is, people that can refer you business that will help you be able to get there. So you need to set goals of how many real connections, people that know you, how many people do you want that will like and comment on your stuff on LinkedIn because you've met them at a networking event, at a LinkedIn networking event that you showed up to. How many articles would you like to post? How many views would you like to have? How many likes? How many, today I posted a video on my LinkedIn. I recommend all of you check out the video that I posted. And somebody once told me that they'd rather have a video that has 1 million 1,000,000 people watched the video than 1,000 people watched the video. And I said, I would rather have 1,000 people watch the video. And they looked at me like I'm crazy. And I said, I would rather have 1,000 people see my message 1,000 times than 1,000,000 people see my message once. I don't want my stuff to go viral. I want to pick my target audience and I want to be in front of them every day. Which one would you rather? Would you rather 1,000 times 1,000? Or would you rather 1,000,000 people once? Tell me in the chat right now, 1,000 times 1,000 or 1,000,000 people once. Saul said he wants 100,000 clients. That's a lot of clients, Saul. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that you can afford to acquire those clients. That's a lot of clients. Most people agree, especially if you're in B2B, that you'd rather have 1,000 people that you're in front of 1,000 times. That you're in front of 1,000 times. That's really the idea. The idea here is with LinkedIn, you have the ability to connect with 500 million people, but those 500 million people are not all your target audience. There's probably 1,000 or 2,000 are your most ideal target audience, and those are the people that you want to build relationships with. And if you boil it down to 10 people, and then eventually build it to 30, and then 50, and then 100, you're actually going to start having traction and get to your goal. Now, once you have your goal in place and you know exactly how many people and all that stuff, and you got your numbers and it makes sense for your business, then you want to decide who is my target audience. And people are often saying, Joe, how am I supposed to pick my target audience? And I tell people, who have you serviced in the past, that you enjoy servicing in the past? Who values your products and services? Who are the people that literally resonate with you? For me, it's hungry entrepreneurs that want to go from frustration to motivation. For my business, Ajax Union, for the back end, highest level service that we offer, it's companies that are over 10 million or would like to be over 10 million in revenue, that are about on the high end, 100 million in revenue, that are in the New York City tri-state area that we can meet with and that we can create lead-in products for them. Companies that have a sales team, that have a marketing director. We love CEOs. They're not the most responsive people. So we need you to have a point person in-house that can work with us so that we can help you build your business. So now going from the 34 million businesses in the United States, suddenly we boil it down to 1,000 companies. And we boil the 1,000 companies into the dream 100 companies that we want to target. And once we do that, now we know exactly who we're targeting. I want you to think about exactly who you're targeting. If you're not sure and you don't want to pick, at least pick a target for 90 days. You can always change your target later if you don't pick up traction. But pick a target. I want to know, who is your target? Right now in the chat box, tell me who your target is. I want to know, who is your most target audience. Now, there are two different types of targets. There are targets in your business that are target clients, and then there are target partners. I want you to think about both target clients and target partners. Your target client should be an ideal client that you enjoy working with, that values your products and services, and you can make a profit off them. Let me ask you a question. I want to ask you guys a question. Tell me in the chat. First of all, tell me who your target client is right now in the chat box so that I could think about this. So we have people that are investors, hardware stores, corporate supply buyers, surgery groups, startups and small business owners. See, Larry, startups and small business owners is way too general. MD, RD, DDS. Okay, cool. Business owners, executives, schools. Who in the schools? I want you to get specific. Now, let me ask you guys another question. Would you rather people buy from you because you're the lowest cost provider, you're the cheapest person around, or would you rather somebody that's willing to pay you more because they value your products and services? Value or price? Which one? Most people would say value. Value, 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 value. But then you go and try to target everybody, which you're targeting the people that don't value your stuff, and they end up wanting to pay you the least possible money. You need to focus on value if you want to be profitable. Value, and of course, you want to offer the right price, but the reason why people are buying from you should be because of your value proposition, because you're massively adding value to other people. That's what I want you to think about. And also your target partner should be someone that works with the same clients that you work with. Who's your ideal target partner? For me, it's anyone in marketing or anyone in business consulting. So for example, another marketing director at a firm is friends with marketing director. Someone who runs an agency is talking to the same people. Somebody who could refer business to me would be like a consultant that works with the entrepreneurs organization, or scaling up coach, or a traction coach. Those are the great partners that I can work with because they're working with ideal clients. So who would be able to refer business to you? Now, I don't see the Q&A. I only see the chat. So make sure that you're not sending me messages on the Q&A. I see 2 people in the Q&A, 2 chats in the Q&A. Send me stuff in the chat because I can't keep track of 17 different things. I could keep track of 2 different things, like my slides and like the chat, but just focus on that, okay? So think about your target partner. Once you have your target partner, I want you to think about your message. Your messaging is super important. Messaging that adds value. What is your message? You can't provide the same message if you're targeting people that shop at IKEA and people that shop at a high-end furniture store like Accentuations by Design. They're 2 different messages. One of them is focused on giving you a high-quality furniture that will last forever, and the other one's focused on telling you, drive to the end of the world, come, schlep your own thing from the warehouse, build it yourself outside your house, because my wife always says by the time I finish building it, we have to throw it out. So you might as well just build it outside so that the garbage man could just take it. That's the idea with IKEA, right? Does that make sense? So you have to know what your message is and how you add value. What are you good at? What are your strengths? What problem or pain point do you want to solve for your customers? And the more specific you can get, the more ideal you will be. Why would competition share vendors? Joe, you would be a great target partner for me. Great, Duvi. That would be awesome. Reach out to me. Send me a message. Let's talk more. Israel community leaders. I'm off the beaten track here. Okay, great. Commercial real estate. Awesome, 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 awesome. The more targeted you are, the better you're going to come up with message. And I want you to focus on something. What are the questions that most of your ideal clients are asking you? This is what I want you to think about. And then think about if you're the best to answer those questions and if the problem that you solve is actually solving that pain. People are coming to you because they're in pain right now. People are coming to you because you're in pain right now. So I want you to think about it when you're coming up with your strategy. What pain do you solve? And once you get your goals and your target and your message, then you have your strategy. Then you can write your strategy down. Let's move on to assets. Now, in terms of assets, most people are not posting. And when they are posting, they're posting one of these types of posts. They're either posting informational posts, and most people are just posting informational or like buy from me type of thing, right? But they're not posting personal stories. They're not posting inspiration. Which one of these have you recently posted on LinkedIn? Tell me right now in the chat box, which one of these have you posted on LinkedIn recently or that you mostly focus on? Most people don't even know that they can post stories of frustrations and problems, that they can post quotes and messages of gratitude. Most people don't know that they should be sharing information about their family. Most people are just informing. Informing is great, but you got to mix it up. If you want engagement, you got to mix it up. You got to ask for help. You got to have call to actions. You got to have offers. I just posted a picture of me by a boat saying, what are you doing for Movember? I'm growing my beard on a boat. I'm growing my beard on a boat. So exciting. I think that's funny. I don't know about you, but I think that's funny, okay? There are different types of posts. I recently posted something and I got tons of engagement. I said, what's something that you believe in that most people don't believe in? Because Peter Thiel, who wrote 0 to 1, the founder of PayPal, he wrote a powerful, powerful book that I recommend everybody read. He says he asks all his potential employees that question, and the people that answer that question properly are the people that, again, boom, exploded. Yesterday, I went to a networking event. I posted a photo of me who I was networking with and what each person does. Boom, 1,000, 1,500 people saw it. People liked it. People commented on it, so on. I want to get to 150 recommendations. This screenshot here has 122. As of today, I'm at 143. Wink, wink, hint, hint to all of you. If you want to learn how to get recommendations, follow my post because I'm teaching people how to get recommendations. Most people don't have any recommendations on their profile. So this is a great topic that would give people tips. Instead of just informing you, just telling you what to do, I'm showing you my goals, sharing my personal stories, thanking the people that have been giving me recommendations. And by the way, I encourage all of you to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Send me a direct message and let me know that you watched the webinar. It's a great excuse for you to send me a connection request and for you to send me a message on LinkedIn. And if you send me a message on LinkedIn, I will reply. So put it on your to-do list because I also want to look at your profile later and I want to see how many tips that I can give you to help you be able to grow what you're doing. So send me a message on LinkedIn. Articles. Most people have not written articles. There are only 3 million articles on LinkedIn. 500 million people and 3 million articles. I wrote 140 articles myself on LinkedIn. Very, very powerful. I want you to think about your target market. I want you to try on their shoes. I want you to think about what pains that they have that you can solve, how you can help them, and then create evergreen articles. Create articles that will last forever. And that's my wife right there in the background. Hey, everyone, say hello to my wife in the chat right now. What's up? What's up? Okay? We're almost done. 10 minutes of Q&A and then we're done. Quiet down. All right, I want me to be on the video. Okay, cool. Okay, 10 minutes. Tell them I'll be there. Okay, cool. So my wife wants me. Did you guys get value so far? Tell me if you guys got value, because we did 30 minutes and that's what we promised you, 30 minutes. Now I can keep going on and on and on and on and on. I do seminars that are 3 hours long and everyone's like, wait, we want more. I'm sure you guys got some value here today. And I hope that I can continue to give you guys value. If you want to watch the whole entire webinar, you want to watch more, go to my profile, sign up for the Blueprint webinar that I have tomorrow.
All right,
but
Yossi.
I want to get the Q&A mode now.
Yeah, before we jump to Q&A, I just very quickly, for everybody that's listening, I want to put out a poll over here. God willing, we're going to be doing this once a month. We're going to have a once a month webinar. We have our next one coming up. I'll talk about that in one. Actually, I'll share that right now, just for a second. I'm going to stop your screen sharing. Next month, on December 12th, Wednesday, December 12th, is our next webinar coming up. How to turn your business into a brand, presented by Mendel Earlwine. This is coming up basically every single month. We're going to have another topic for you. And I want to take a quick poll right now. I'm going to launch this for everybody. What is the best time to do a webinar? We have 3 choices. It could be 11 a.m., 12 p.m., or 1 p.m. For all of you here, I see we have quite a number of you that made it at 11 o'clock. But if you had to choose, let us know what would be your best time.
People are writing 11 in the chat box.
People are writing 11. Yes, we have 28 people so far that have responded. If everyone could just give us your response over here. So far, 11 o'clock is winning out as the best time.
Okay, so share the results right now. We're going to share the results in exactly 10 seconds. I posted a link in the chat box for my webinar that I'm doing if anybody wants to watch it. Somebody asked how long the webinar is. Webinar is usually 45 to 60 minutes. But again, I get more into detail about all these different things. So I highly recommend you all register. It's completely free.
Okay, thank you all for sharing the results over here. So again, we're going to go to the Q&A. No one has to hang up. But again, just as your host, Rabbi Wordy here from CHY, together with JCC of Marine Park and EPI Network, we hope that you all got value from this. God willing, 1 month from now, December 12th is our next webinar. We'll be sending out emails. You could register for that. And now I'll pass it back on to you so you could do the Q&A.
Awesome. Okay, so a lot of people are asking all different types of questions around what they should be posting, what they should be doing, how they should be doing it. And I love coaching people on what to do, how to go from a lurker to an influencer. So again, send me a direct message on LinkedIn and ask me your questions. I've compiled over 200 questions that I answer on a regular basis on LinkedIn. So follow me on LinkedIn. But I want to know, where are you stuck? Somebody said, not sure if LinkedIn is for my product. If relationships can help your business, then LinkedIn is for relationships. LinkedIn is not for your product. You're not there to transactionally sell products on LinkedIn. You're there to build relationships with people. So if you can get people to sell your products, that's what the value of LinkedIn. Not sure how to target. We go through it in more detail of how to pick your target market on LinkedIn. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're not sure who to target, then send me a direct message on LinkedIn and I will help you figure that part out a little bit more. But I want you to think about the following. Who loves what you have to offer? Who values what you have to offer? And who do you love to serve more than anybody else in the world? I love to serve hungry entrepreneurs that want to go from frustration to motivation. If you're hungry, in the chat box right now, say, I'm hungry. Tell me who you are. I want to see, where are the hungry entrepreneurs in the chat box? Is LinkedIn Premium necessary for all people on LinkedIn? No, it is not necessary. And I don't recommend you get LinkedIn Premium unless you need the advanced search functionality and you're going to be reaching people on InMail. I like the way it looks and I could afford to invest $1,000 a year for Sales Navigator and the LinkedIn Premium thing so that I use it. Somebody wrote I'm thirsty. By the way, if you are thirsty, drink water. I wrote a book called High Energy Secrets, and statistics show that a 5% drop in hydration is a 30% drop in energy. So read my book, High Energy Secrets, available on Amazon, and drink water. I'm a CPA. I need clients. What else is new, Jack? Everyone needs clients.
I want to just say for all of you that are watching, this webinar was recorded, and you will all receive a link to the recording so that you could watch it again at your leisure. Yossi, I just made you a host so you can see. Hey, there's 8 questions that are waiting if you want to respond.
I see. I am clueless with LinkedIn, but I know it's the place to find my clients. A service-based business. I'm looking to acquire as many long-term clients. Yes, relationships to the core of my business. If you're clueless on LinkedIn, the question I would ask you is, how much time have you been spending on LinkedIn? Commit to spending 15 minutes a day on LinkedIn. Start with that. Because if you're running a business, it's hard, but 15 minutes a day, you got to invest 15 minutes a day. That's what I tell everyone. And you'll see how hard it is to start that habit, because out of sight, out of mind. People say, I don't know how to use it. Use it more. I post similar style entertaining posts. Some get a lot of engagement. Some get a little. Why the discrepancy? Time of day matters. Tagging people matters. Direct messaging people matters. You have to use all the aspects of LinkedIn in order to impact the algorithm. The algorithm, and I speak a lot about the algorithm of LinkedIn because I'm constantly testing it out. And sometimes, believe it or not, LinkedIn will just not show your post around for whatever reason. It just wants to test out, not showing your post. So don't get discouraged if you don't get a lot of engagement. Sometimes you, also, by the way, if you're not replying to comments, if someone leaves a comment, you don't reply, it's going to limit your exposure. I have no way to evaluate if corporate buyers are connected through Navigator convert to buyers on the website. Well, the best way to do that is to build relationships with people and ask them, are they seeing you on LinkedIn? If you're updating every single day, people will tell you that they're seeing you, and you can ask them. What order in the feed that you see there is an option. You could either see most recent or you could see most relevant. There's a way to check that. And I actually posted a video on my profile about how to do that. So you can go to my profile and check that out. I sell online, Amazon, eBay. How can LinkedIn help me? Where do I start? If you're looking for people who are sellers, who are buyers, think about the B2B aspect of your business. If you're selling on Amazon, it's not going to help you to sell products on Amazon, but it's going to help you be able to find more products. It'll be able to help you sell your overstock merchandise, to build relationships with buyers and vendors and companies and so on. What is the best time to post on LinkedIn? It depends on who you're targeting. If you're targeting executives, the best time to post is before 8 a.m. If you're targeting marketers, usually right before lunchtime. If you're targeting general people, probably the evening. If you're just targeting like average people that work in businesses, the evening is a great time to post. Any recommendation on how to set up a good LinkedIn profile? Yes. Here are the recommendations very quickly. Number 1, have a great photo, have a great background photo. And by the way, I do a separate webinar on the 5 things you need to know to set up a perfect profile on LinkedIn. So if you email Rabbi Wardy and say, Rabbi Wardy, I want to do a profile. I want to know how to optimize my profile, maybe in December or January. We can do one just for that. So email info@chye.info.
Info@chye.info.
Oh, info.chye.info. Okay, cool.
No, info@chye.info.
Okay, great. So make sure I put that in the chat box for everyone to see. So bottom line is your photo, your background photo, your summary. You got to make sure you have a good summary. Your tagline. Make sure that your work experience is organized correctly and you're telling stories. Make sure that you have recommendations on LinkedIn. And I go through all that in detail. By the way, we offer a product called the LinkedIn Authority Blueprint, which is our back end to what we do, where we sit down and we do all this stuff for you. We'll write up the strategy for you. We'll create a 13-week content calendar. We will do all this, the asset library. We'll develop it for you. We'll optimize your profile for you. We'll even give you a connections dashboard. I usually discuss that at the end of my other webinar. This is not a webinar to sell anything, but if you're interested in learning more about that, just DM me and say, Joe, send me more information about your full service LinkedIn Authority Blueprint, and I'll send you some information about that. And we're only doing it for another 13 people this year, and then we're closing our doors. So if you're interested, let me know. If not, that's good. We're just testing that out. We're not really making any money off it. It's just a product that we're testing out. So next year we could launch it and go deep in that. Any recommendation on how to get recommendations? Ask for recommendations. I'm going to ask you for a recommendation, but only if I know that you're on this. So if you're on this and you enjoyed this, please leave me recommendations. I want to get 150. I need another 7. So you'll be one of the lucky people that get to leave me a recommendation. And when you're asking for recommendations, be very specific with what you're asking for. So I'm asking you a recommendation right now. Can you please leave me a recommendation about how I presented at the webinar with the CHYE, JCC of Marine Park, and EPI? How was my presentation style? What value did you get out of it? and so on and so forth. That's the idea. So get people to recommend you on something specific that you've done for them. Does it have to be a personal photo, or can it be an icon? No, it cannot be an icon. It has to be a personal photo. If you're putting an icon, you're just telling people that you're afraid of sharing your photo. I used to be afraid of sharing my photo. I used to have my icon, but I wasn't building any real relationships with people. I was hiding behind a logo, and everybody can see that. It's kind of like having a mustard stain on your shirt. You got to work on your fear. And a coach really helped me work on my fear. It just has to do with awareness and so on. So I highly recommend everybody. What is the cost per click ad clicked on? What is the cost per ad clicked on LinkedIn? There's a variety of different charges based on who you're targeting and what your budget is and the way that you set up your ad. So there's a bunch of different ways. I highly recommend you check out advertising on LinkedIn. But before you do that, tap into the relationship building aspect of LinkedIn. Get your profile optimized correctly. Get yourself a content marketing plan, a strategy, know who you're targeting before you go and start spending money. What types of connections should I accept? Anyone or everyone? I have a whole webinar that I do on that called a LinkedIn Connection Strategy webinar, where I teach you the difference of how to connect with people. But the key is, here's something that you should think about. Who do you want to meet? Who do you know? Who are people that you can help or can help you? Those are the three things that I really think about when I accept. I have 3,800 people waiting to connect with me. If you're waiting to connect with me, comment on a post, say, Joe, I'm waiting to connect with you. And this way I'll see you and I'll accept, because I'm not going to accept everybody. I can't just accept everybody. There's a limit of how many connections you can have on LinkedIn. There's 30,000. I'm already almost halfway there. So I want to really connect with people that are engaging with me, that are my fans, that are my followers, or that are hungry entrepreneurs that want to go from frustration to motivation. How can I ask for many endorsements or recommendations. Most have no clue how to do it. Make a video, Stuart. It's really easy to make a video, and you can share with those people how to do it. Or you can watch my video that I have on my profile where I show you exactly how to do it, and you can share that with other people. You can even write an article of how to do that. How do we recommend? Where is it done? Send me a DM on LinkedIn, a direct message, and I will actually request it from you. You can actually go to a person's profile, request a recommendation, so it makes it really, really easy. And by the way, I highly recommend you all do that. Can I work with you? Yes, Jack. You can work with me. Just send me a direct message on LinkedIn or go to my profile and you can pick a time to talk to me. Ryan, what is the name of the coach that helped you overcome your fear? Send me a direct message. And if you're the right person for him, he doesn't like if I just introduce people to him. I'm happy to share his name with you directly as a DM. He doesn't like to get overwhelmed with random people calling him. So I would have to qualify you first. So send me a message, Ryan, and I'll be happy to support you on your journey. And I also write a lot about my fears and my insecurities that I used to have around sharing myself, around public speaking. Believe it or not, right now I'm talking to you and there's a couple dozen people that are watching me right now live. I was petrified of getting in front of people a couple of years ago. Then Google hired me as a certified Google trainer. I had to overcome my fear. Otherwise, I would be broke. I was more afraid of not having any money and not being able to support my wife and my kids or pay my mortgage or any of that stuff than I was to get up on stage. So I did it anyway. I was shivering and shaking. I have a video of my first seminar that I did at the Jewish Children's Museum about 6 or 7 years ago. And my wife was in the back. She's like, why are you pacing? You're so confident one-on-one, but when it comes to stage, you melt and you're like sugar. You're not made out of sugar. Stop it. Like, get your act together. So I had to go to Rabbi Jacobson and speak to him and a bunch of other people to figure out, okay, how am I going to get over this fear? And it changed my life because now I'm open, I'm free, I'm complete. And I lost 95 pounds. Like, I completely changed my life. Amazing, amazing story. Is the essence of public speaking for everybody to be petrified? Don't worry, Joe. Thank you, Andre. But I'm not petrified anymore. Right now, I'm excited. By the way, I'm going to give you guys a tip. Whenever you're feeling the butterflies at a networking event or when you're about to speak, your mind either thinks that you're nervous or you're excited. Why? Because your body doesn't know the difference. So your heart beats pounds like that when you're nervous and your heart pounds like that when you're excited. So you have to distinguish and say in your head proactively, I am excited right now. Now, being excited or saying I'm nervous right now is the difference between you performing and you drowning. Performance and drowning. That's the difference. When you get nervous, suddenly you start stuttering and you start going crazy and you start losing your mind. But when you're excited, you are here. You are ready to get motivated. You're unstoppable. You're on. And that's what you want to be. You want to be in the flow. You don't have to be like crazy like me, but just get into your version of the flow. You guys know what I'm talking about? If you know what I'm talking about, say, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. When I'm in flow, I know when I'm in flow. I know when I'm on. I know when I'm in the zone. I know when I'm the man or when I'm the woman. I know when I'm on. If you know when I'm on, say, Joe, I know when I'm on. I want to know if you guys in the chat right now, do you or someone help me make my business sound more professional? Yes. Send me a direct message, Aaron. And that's what we do. As an agency, we help make your business sound more professional. How do we contact you directly? Go to my LinkedIn profile and you can find out all of my information on there. You can send me a direct message or joe@ajaxunion.com. That's my email address. I typically don't give it out, but I trust you guys. So please don't spam me, but send me unlimited questions. joe@ajaxunion.com. I answer every single email. I know, Woo, Lul, Izzy, yes, Stuart. Guys, you have been amazing. I'm going to cut you guys loose. I love you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. If you want to find out more information about me, go to joeapfelbaum.com. You can hire me as a speaker. You can sign up to my weekly newsletter. I send a newsletter to thousands of CEOs every single week. I've been doing it for 4 years since I overcame my fear of writing. Yes, I had a fear of writing. I used to say, I don't write, I hire writers. It was crazy. I had so many crazy fears. Anyway, I appreciate all of you so much. And like I said, reach out to me. Send me messages. Most people think that influencers are untouchable. I am touchable. I mean, don't touch me if you see me on the street. That's kind of creepy. But send me messages. Let me know what you got out of this. And hopefully you will take your life and your business to the next level. Round of applause. We did it. See you later, guys. Write in the chat right now. Round of applause to know that you're round of applausing. Yay.